Hello and
Hello.
welcome back to our channel. Today, me and Linton are meeting online to discuss the problems within Estonia.
Yes, as we both know, the three main problems with Estonia right now are unemployment and social problems, as well as education, and also maybe the national economy. Would you like to guide me over what is wrong with Estonia's unemployment and social problems?
So here's what I understand. After the fall of the Soviet Union, agriculture aid was relaxed, leading to less agricultural jobs, which was a main part of Estonian society. When these jobs dried up, the males stayed on the unemployment register, while the female tended to stop looking for work and simply stayed at home, which meant they were removed from the unemployment register. The nature of unemployment was mostly short-term when the Soviet Union fell, but later, the level of long-term unemployment grew continuously. Those affected by long-term unemployment were often over 50 years old, as well as those without the professional education or with skills that were incompatible with the needs of the labor market.
Thank you for that excellent explanation, Faris. So, what do you think will happen if, say, we don't have a solution to this problem and it's not fixed?
So, if this continues to develop, Estonia will have one of the highest crime rates in the world, as the younger generation is finding it harder and harder to get work. So now that I've said what is wrong with unemployment, how about you tell me what's wrong with the education system?
Well, education classification is a major issue in Estonia, as elite schools catered for children from high-income, wealthy families or poorer families had to attend state-owned schools, and many had to repeat the school or left school without basic education due to incompetent teachers, rough financial situations, and the unavailability of counseling support for students and parents. So, in other words, there's a massive gap between the rich and the poor when it comes to education. And the rich often get much better education than the poor, which leads to a lot of unemployment issues later.
So, uh, Estonia tried to fix this problem with emphasis placed on lifelong learning, which was portrayed as an important method of increasing social cohesion whilst reducing exclusion. People began to realize that education did not end with a graduation certificate. However, access to continuous training was limited, and the less well-off often did not participate in such training, whereas the already well-off were the main beneficiaries of the continuous training. This is blamed on low participation levels and the lack of motivation and opportunity.
So basically, what happened is that this lifelong learning thing was emphasized, but it didn't really work because the people it was aimed at, which was the low income families, they didn't want to do it. So if this continues, the bad education gaps between the rich and poor, how do you think this will affect Estonia in the future?
I feel like this will negatively affect the country, as going forward, many people will be uneducated compared to other countries, and may not be employed or have the skills to get employed. Estonia's national economy, however, is a whole different story.
Yes, you're right. Well, right now, Estonia relies on the wood/paper industry to create jobs and keep the economy growing. In fact, the majority of Estonia's economy and money come from the wood industry. 50% of Estonia is forest land, as we've said before. And so right now, it has one of the most sustainable industries for around the next 50 years, scientists estimate. This is because the government has implemented very many plans, along with trying to certify as many forests as possible to prevent the quality of these trees dropping and being renewable. So Estonian wood is right now very well known and has been a long-standing export and the engine that is right now driving the Estonian economy.
So Estonia has experienced a boost in investment, which has allowed it to become a high-tech industry, which responds well to the market's need. However, in around 50 years, Estonia will need to produce new industry, as climate change, soil erosion, and water cycles will all impact wood production. Estonia's wood industry is very likely to last longest in all of Europe, but this trend will definitely not last forever.
Yeah, so basically, the wood industry looks good. It looks very sustainable. But if you look 50, more than 50 years into the future, it suddenly becomes very vital. So that's why we, as Estonia for the future, have to come up with a solution. So, in conclusion, we know that there are many long-term problems within Estonia and Estonian society, mainly unemployment and education and the economy. So, in the next video we'll be releasing, we'll talk about our proposed solutions to these issues. Very interesting. Stay tuned for that video by subscribing with notifications turned on so you don't miss a beat of our uploads. What do you think our solutions are going to be? Do you think they're going to be good? Let us know in the comments section below. Well, that's it for now. Me and Faris have enjoyed making this video, and we would love to make more. But thank you, everyone.